So I called and I was like, Mom, there's something in my house. Like, I want to leave now. Hi, and welcome back to my channel. Now, before I start telling the story, I just want you guys to keep in mind that listening to someone's story is not the same as actually experiencing it yourself. So, before you blast me in the comments, I just want you guys to have that in mind. And I'm just gonna go straight into the story because it's kind of long. Okay, so basically this happened around the end of last year, my first year in university. I was homeless for the first 2 weeks of my first year because I couldn't find a place to stay. Like, I was gonna live with my cousin, and we only found houses that were, you know, a bit distant from varsity, and we wanted somewhere that was like, you know, right there. So we were like jumping hotels and jumping guest houses until we actually found a place. And the place that we found, we didn't actually look for it, if you know what I mean. We were driving to school, and then we just saw this big for rent sign, and they were like, okay, you know, let's try this out. It was by chance that we found our apartment. But yeah, guys, this apartment was really, what's the word? Let's say a bit like offish. Like, to start off with, there is no security. Like, it's just, there's a remote gate and you go in and that's it. Like, there's no security guards, there's no cameras. There wasn't even, like, at the time that we moved in, there wasn't anything like a panic button or an emergency button or, like, you know, drills and stuff. So it was one of those places, you know, my friends called it a trap house because, like, the condo was okay. It was very, like, outdated, you know, and it was okay. But our apartment specifically needed a lot of work. Like, it was just not the best, you know, but like my mom and like my cousin's mom helped like refurnish the place, and like it looked decent because, you know, we were living there. But if you went in that place for the first time, you wouldn't even think that someone has lived there in like 10 years or so. Like, it was literally that bad, and we were desperate, we were homeless, so we took the apartment and we were living in this smallish kind of apartment, a 2-bedroom apartment. Yeah, so the first supernatural incident that happened was there was this one day that I was with my friends and we were about to go out, but I wanted to eat before because I hadn't eaten anything the whole day, and I decided to like cook. I was gonna make rice or something basic like that, right? And I put like the food in the pot and I just left it there. Like, I didn't turn it on because I obviously had to entertain my friends simultaneously. So I went to the living room and then I stayed there for like 10-15 minutes. And when I came back to the kitchen to actually start cooking the food, the stove was on. Like, I was like, what? I remember not switching it on because I wasn't going to be attending to it. So I came back and it was on, and I was just confused. And like, all of my friends and my cousin, everyone was in the living room with me. So no one went to the kitchen and switched on the stove. I was just like, I was trying to understand, and I was just like, oh my gosh, what is going on? And my friends were like, nah, Sharon, you probably switched it on and you don't remember, you know, you're silly like that, you're clumsy. But I was like, I know, guys, like, maybe I did switch it on, but I remember not switching it on, you know. But I let that go. I was like, okay, whatever, I'm not gonna like overthink this, I'm about to have a good time with my friends. So that incident happened. From then on, just weird, I started hearing weird things in the house, like doors would open and close by themselves. And obviously a lot of you are gonna be like, nah, but that's the wind. It could be the wind. It was just really bad timing. Like, the moment that first incident happened, all these other things followed, you know. So yeah, there was this one specific door that led to a veranda. We had a veranda like outside, like a balcony. To close this door, you actually had to shut it really tight or it just opened by itself, you know. It was like, it was that outdated, you know. It was one of those doors, and I would close it, you know, because if it's not closed, then it's just gonna creak open and you can hear it and you can like hear outside. So I would close this door tightly and this door would just open on its own. And it's like, what? You know, and it wasn't like, okay, I close it and then it just opened. Like, I would close it, I would sit down, I start watching something, and then like 7 minutes later, the door would open by itself. Which to me was like, what? You know, like, this door is so hard to just open by itself, and they just did it. And it was, you know, small things like that. My room had like a view to my varsity. Like, there was a parking area and you could literally, like, if you open the curtains to my room, it was like next door. Like, I could literally jump to school if I really wanted to. Yeah, so therefore you could kind of like see shadows of like cars and trees. Like the way my bed was placed, like I could like look up and just see like a shadow of a car or a tree, and I could like hear everything that's going on in varsity, which I think is kind of cool. I would see shadows passing by, and like guys, first thing is that this would happen on days that there's no movement in varsity, like a Sunday or a public holiday where like no one goes. You know, and my varsity is really small, like there's not a lot of people don't go on weekends anyways, and like I would literally check outside to see if like anyone parked there, and no one was there, and I would see like a shadow, and I was like, and it wasn't even a shadow of like a car or a person, it was just like a weird object, you know. Like I was just like, okay, what is this? Like I'm not even gonna be like, why is there a shadow, like what is this shadow? Like I'm trying to figure it out, and like it happened a few times and it got me really creeped out because I would like look back and then there was nothing there. But that happened like a lot, like it happened a lot. But the one incident that really like shook me and all of my mates was, so there was this one day where like I said before, I live with my cousin, so we have the same friends, so I'm just gonna say our friends. We had two of our friends over. We were just finishing like a study session, and like we'd been like up the whole night trying to study and stuff, and we decided to take a break, and we started taking random photos. I don't know why we did that, actually. That was probably the first mistake. But we started taking a lot of photos, and then I asked my cousin to take some of me just for the banter, you know. I wanted to post it on my private Instagram account. And guys, I'm not even gonna explain what was going on in the photo. I'm literally just gonna put it like here right now, just so that you guys can see how creepy this is. And I couldn't explain it. You know, my cousin gave me the phone straight after, and I know that he didn't edit it because he literally gave me the phone and I didn't edit it. I was just looking through the photos. And the weird thing is that all the other photos look fine. Like I'm gonna look for it, I'm trying to put it in here somewhere. But it was just one specific photo where my eye is just weird. Like what is that? And like people, like I shared it to like a bunch of my friends. They're like, no, maybe it's just somehow you moved your eye quickly and that's your eye. But if you guys look at it properly, my eye is black brownish. This thing that's on my white eye is literally a dot. It's a gray dot. There's no people inside. There's no ways that can be a reflection of any eye. You know, like even if my eye was like blue and this is a different color, like there's no like pupil inside the eye. It's just like a round gray dot. And I was just like, what? Like, what is this? And there was actually nothing reflecting on it. And the fact that it was only that photo, like I took like 5 more photos in the same angle, in the same, like my face like this was in the same position, and that one photo was like that, and that just really creeped all of us out. Like that night, I kid you not, I slept with incest outside my door. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but my mom got me a bunch of incest things and I never really used it. Oh, and guys, I think what actually the reason why all of this is happening is because okay, so in our culture we have I don't know if it's my culture. In my family, we have a tradition of praying for houses when we move into it, you know, just so that if there's anything left over or any like energy, so that, you know, we're blessed and that our time in the house is okay. Yeah, we didn't pray for the house. When we moved in, we didn't pray for the house, and I feel like I kind of like opened a portal or something, gave it a space for like any energies to come in. And my mom always puts incest all over the house because she says that, you know, you don't know what people's spirits are and you need to just cleanse the house. And guys, we had a lot of mates and we were living right next to varsity. Like it was like a 3-minute walk, like right next to varsity. So our friends would always come over like after classes, or if there's like a class that was canceled, or like we always have people. Like we're those people that always have people over. I'm not trying to say that anyone is like a demon, but it was probably also a mix of a lot of different spirits. I don't know, I'm trying to think of this logically, you know, like, you know, maybe someone's aura was offish, I don't know. So, and then I called my friend Gerald and I was like, dude, do you see this? Like I sent him the image and he was like, nah, you guys are capping, you guys edited that, there's no way. It's like, what even is that? And we were scared. My cousin was dead as scared. He lit the incest right there and then. He put it outside my door. I don't know if he thought I was a problem, but whatever. And we were just scared. Like I was just like, what the hell? And then when I did some research, guys, from that day on, any little thing I would be like, what's that? You know, like I don't know if you guys seen the clip of my other video of my skin routine. there's this one moment where there's this weird thing that passes by. That was what happened in my room. That was more or less what happened in my room. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. So I did research, and apparently someone had died in that house, and we had no idea about. Our landlord was the type of person who was very to himself. Like, he never came to, like, you know, visit us or check up on us. Like, we signed the contract and that was it. Like, we didn't see him again until we finished the contract, which I don't know is normal or not, but anyways, I asked the caretaker of the place, you know, like, you know, what happened here? Like, what's the story of this place? You know, tell me something, because we know nothing. We just moved into this place because we're desperate. We didn't do any research or anything. And he told me that there was someone who died in the house, which obviously, if you think about it, like, logically, a lot of people die all the time. Like, if I die, and then it'll be like, oh no, she was dying and she was in her parents' house. But this person died inside the house. Like, this person could have died anywhere else, but they died in the house. Like, they could have died in my room, guys. I don't know what it was, but I was scared, and I was just like, oh my gosh, save me, like, take me home right now. And I just, like, I was afraid to be home. You know, I'm such an edgy person. Like, you know, I'm all about horror movies and psychological movies and, you know, psychopathic things and all these things. None of these things faze me. Like, since I was a little girl, I've always loved, like, horror stuff and thriller stuff. And I like the idea of it. Like, it's interesting to watch and to read about. But when it happens to you, I was just like, it humbled me. I was just like, okay, Sharon, these things are real. Things like this can happen. So yeah, I was just really scared, and all these doors that opened in the shadows, like, it kept on going. I called my mom and I was like, Mom, there's something in my house, like, I don't want to be here anymore. And she was like, no, you know, you're just tripping, just put some incense to the house. I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm literally going to die in this house and no one believes me, like, no one cares, like, what am I gonna do? So from that time on, I always had people over just in case something happened. I always have people over, and till this day, I can't explain that photo. I'm gonna put it up again, just in case you guys forgot what it looks like. But to this day, if someone asks me what was going on here, I don't have a reasonable explanation. Like, I don't know what happened. It still creeps me out, and I moved out of that apartment. I'm in a much, much better apartment now, and, like, I'm living alone now, which is, like, I should probably be more scared, but, like, I'm more relaxed about it, you know. But that apartment gave me the creeps. Like, the moment we moved out, I was just, like, super happy, super content, and, like, I never looked back. Not once am I like, oh my gosh, I miss my apartment in Pretoria, because I don't. So, you know, that was my supernatural experience, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. Please keep in mind, again, that experiencing something and hearing about something are two different things, and I may be exaggerating, but in my perspective, this is what I experienced, you know. And I don't know if anyone else has ever experienced the same thing. You know, the photo thing, that was really creepy. Like, the doors and the shadows, like, that should be okay. Like, there's always a logical explanation, but that specific incident of the photo, I just, like, I can't fathom it. So I hope you guys enjoy this story time. Like, subscribe, do the most, show me some love, and I will see you guys in the next video.